guys, I'm here in Silhouette Studio. This is free software you can download and use as an alternative to Photoshop. And what I'm going to be doing is just arranging my watercolor flowers that I plan to use as wall decals. And basically you just need to arrange them and then send them to your inkjet printer to print. And the reason I'm using the Silhouette Studio is I plan to not only print these with my inkjet printer, but also send them to my Silhouette cutting machine to have it cut them out for me. So this is what I'm going to use, and it's very intuitive, it's pretty simple, and again, it's free. I've opened up here on the right some watercolor flowers, and I'm just going to click those and drag them over to my document here. And let me just resize by clicking and dragging. I can rotate by hitting this little green circle and rotating, and I'm going to continue doing this until I have my sheet almost all filled with flowers. And you can see, oops, I don't know what that is. I'm basically a novice at using the Silhouette Studio, but you click off and then it gives you these arrows where you're able to resize. But yeah, I found it's pretty simple to use. If you're familiar with Photoshop especially, it's going to be very easy for you. Okay, so I'm just dragging, and I'm going to do this until I get my page basically full. Be careful not to drag like over another flower, because what happened there was I just replaced that flower, so I'm going to hit Apple Z to undo it. So you want to make sure you drag to a blank space on your canvas and then resize. And what I have here, this red sort of line, outline, I'm going to come over here at the top to the design page settings. I've got my paper size at 8.5 by 11. That's the size of the printable vinyl. But down here I've also got show print border and show cut border, and that red is the cut border. So you don't want to put anything outside of that red line. So I can even Apple C, Apple V to copy and paste some of these flower elements. And again, when I actually did this, I used various sizes, and you want a lot of like little flowers for filler on the wall, a lot of leaves. So you just really want to sort of fill up the space. Something else that's really important, you see this black box. If you're going to send this to your Silhouette cutting machine, you need to make sure over here right next to the design page settings there's registration marks. And if those are off, you don't see them, but you need to make sure that those are on, because those are going to tell your cutting machine exactly where to cut. So make sure you have those on before you send this file to print. So now what I'm going to show you is this is a finished actual file that I use for my decals. It's got the registration marks on because I'm seeing that black box. And so once it's ready, you just hit File, Print, and send it to your printer. Okay, that is step one. And you're going to make sure you load your vinyl correctly. I have to put mine face down so that it prints right with my printer. But after it prints, that's when you need to make sure, if you're using your Silhouette, that you have your cut lines. So your cut lines are done. You come over here and you hit Trace. And I'm going to just click and drag. Oh, sorry. I need to hit Select Trace Area, then click and drag. Okay. Now I'm going to unclick High Pass Filter, and I'm going to click Low Pass Filter. Then I'm going to adjust the threshold until I get a nice yellow outline. There you go. So pretty high. And then I just hit this top button, which is Trace. And there you go. I can delete my flower at this point, and you can see that red outline is where your machine will actually cut and trace your flowers. So that is step number 2. So after you send it to your inkjet printer to print, you actually load your vinyl onto your cutting mat. Then you make sure you have your cut lines. Come over here to this little, I guess it's a blade, and that's going to give you your cut settings. And I just used vinyl under the most commonly used types. I used vinyl, and then I sent it to my Silhouette machine, and it cut them out for me. And I'd like to say probably on this project I used close to 15 to 20 sheets of flowers. Certainly you don't have to use that many. If you spread your flowers out on the wall and don't do them as densely, then you're not going to need as many. But I liked the look, and I printed about 20 of these sheets and had them cut out. And honestly, the project didn't take that long, probably 1 to 2 hours, and I had a 3-year-old distracting me. So a fast project to get a really cool result, and I hope you guys enjoy.